Hey guys, it's Dan here. Today I just wanted to do a quick video and show the latest Kali 2020.1 install. I've written a blog about this that I've already published, which goes through a step-by-step text install. What I thought I'd do is just do a quick video showing the graphical install. So in this instance, I've booted up a VM, which is brand new, using the ISO that has the live installation options, but we're not going to use that. I'm just going to do a graphical install, and I'm just going to talk through the different steps as we go through this process. This may not be the most exciting video on the planet. Installing stuff is definitely not up there with ponying things that's exciting, but it's a necessary thing we need to know how to do. So for language, I'm English. We're going to select English. Obviously select what you need. Click continue. We're not in the US, we're in the UK, so I'm going to change my location here. My keyboard is British English. I haven't got a Mac, so not that I'm using anyway. Click continue. You can just see now that a install is loading. Definitely should have made a cup of tea before clicking on this. Now, just one thing to note, when it does its network detection, if it doesn't get a network detected, your install can still occur, but the sources will not include the repos online. So when you go to doing that update, etc., once you've installed, if you haven't got a network connection, then you're not going to be in the right place. Phone defend 001 as the computer name. Again, we're not going to put a domain name. My new user, Mr. Reboot. And we're going to put a password in. Super secret password. Next up, we're looking for partition configs on the disks. So in the text guide, I think I did an LVM install without encryption, but I'm actually going to use the encryption option here. So guided, use entire disk and set up encrypted LVM. We've got one SCSI drive loaded, which is 40 odd gigs. We're going to put all of our files in one partition because I can't be dealing with the headache of partition management, though obviously it's easier with an LVM. Do we want to write the changes? Yes, we do. And disk configs, bye data. Not that there was any anyway on this. This is going to take a few minutes, so I'm probably going to put a pause in here. And the overwrite process is nearly complete. I've managed to make a cup of tea as well, which is great. So now we need to choose a passphrase for the encryption. So I need to select something that I can type twice for this demo. Pwn defend is great. Will do me. Pwn defend is great. There we go. We now have a password. That's going to be prompted on boot, just so everyone knows. The disks are partitioned with, again, 42 odd gigs. We now get a chance to review the configuration. We're going to finish partitioning and write the changes. It's going to confirm if we really want to write the changes. We're going to say yes, click continue. Now the installation is running. Cool, so that didn't take very long. It's now prompting to configure the package manager. Do we want to use a network mirror? Yes, we do. We're on the network, so we've got internet access. Do we need a proxy? Nope, not in this environment. We're not using a proxy. Now we've got a quick software install. This is why I made a cup of tea. Awesome. Right, okay, now we've got to choose what options we want. We can choose our desktop environment and what window manager we're going to use, XFCE or GNOME, KDE, etc. And also we can choose the type of deployment we're going to. So we can choose different tool sets. We can choose to deploy a light system and install our own tools, or the top 10, or we can deploy everything. I'm just going to go with defaults for now. We'll end up having to install some stuff anyway. And I'm going to pause this quickly. And through the magic of the pause button, we have nearly got to the end of the install. That definitely took considerably longer watching it than I wanted. I've also run out of tea, which is not good. So you need at least 2 cups to make it through the Kali install in GUI mode. On an encrypted LVM, it appears. Cool. Now it's confirm if you want to install the Grub bootloader to the MBR on the system. I mean, you can not do this, but in this instance, that would mean you couldn't boot into an OS. So you're going to want to install Grub bootloader. So click continue. It's now going to ask you what device. You can enter it manually, or you can just select dev SCSI disk A. And we're getting near the finish line. And again, magic of the pause button. You can see it's taking out the CD location from the source list file. This always goes faster if you're not watching it, which is strange for a video on how to install. Awesome. Right, the install's complete. You don't need to eject, at least you don't need to eject on VMware Workstation. The media, the system's going to reboot. And we can get logged in. You should see here now it prompts for decryption. So Pwn Defend is great. Exclamation mark, awesome. There was a risk that I was going to mistype that because I'm recording. And now, on the new version, you previously would have logged in as root. So if you're using a version that's prior to 2020.1 of Kali, you're going to be using root and whatever credits you set. With here, I've got an account name and I've got a password. Which, awesome, again, that's pretty good going to be able to type the password for the decryption and type a password while recording without a typo. And now we're in the system. So that's the install complete. You're going to want to run an apt update. And what you're going to see here is you're no longer root. So sudo apt update. Type your password in. And you're going to notice that the connection's not running on HTTPS. So one of the first things you probably want to do is change your sources list config to use HTTPS. I won't cover that now, but we'll show that in a future video. It's part of the post-install action script that I've got on my GitHub. Okay, that's weird. Not quite sure why that failed. Just going to run that again. See, 2 passwords correct without a typo. But I'm not going to get away with everything not working. Yeah, strange. Okay, so I'm not 100% sure why. I'm looking at that later. So there you go. There's your install. Control L will just clear your screen. We can also do Kali undercover just to show this off. This is a feature introduced in 2019.4. This will convert our desktop so that it looks like a Windows 10 machine. This is pretty funky. So if you're in public or an operation, then you can hide yourself from shoulder surfers who think you're up to no good and make it look like you're running a Windows 10 system, which is pretty funky. We can undo that just by running Kali undercover again, and it's going to switch the desktop back. So pretty neat. One of the things to notice on the new version as well is there's new icons. Not that important to me, but makes it look a little bit more modern, etc. So there we have it. There's Kali 2020.1 installed on an LVM encrypted system, ready for going to actually do something useful like hack or play a CTF. Cool, hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll be releasing more content soon. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Cheers guys.